Yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games. We are doing a solo playthrough of Abomination Heir of Frankenstein from Plaid Hat Games. This is a worker placement game where you take on the role of a lead scientist and their assistant to run about the city of Paris to locations such as cemeteries, morgues, hospitals and dark alleys to collect resources in the form of organs, blood, bone and muscle. You use these resources to build a monster companion for the Heir of Frankenstein. We're also visiting the university to teach to gain coin and to do some research in order to be able to get expertise to build your monster. While you're doing this, you'll be trying to evade investigators who are looking to hinder your process, who you can evade, bribe and even murder if you wish to. Let's take a look at the setup. Okay, we're ready for the setup. We have the Paris board, the event board, our laboratory player board, and this here is the dice pool that we're going to use for the game. The Morgue deck is placed face up here on the Morgue. The cemetery deck is placed face down. You never know what you're going to get. For the hospital deck, we draw a number of cards equal to the number of players in the game. As we're playing solo, we draw 2 cards, place them face up here, with the remaining hospital cards being stored off the board. The public square deck also gets stored off the board, and this will only be refilled if the icon appears on an event card. We fill the docks here with scoundrels. Place the deck there. At the academy, we place cards here for research, 1 for each space. And we do the same at St. Roch with the humanity cards. The event deck, there is a different setup from the main game where you just draw 12 event cards. There are no encounter cards here, and they'll get placed there on the event board. The Captain Meeple gets placed on round 1. Now for the bonus objective tokens, we're only allowed to use the 1st to 23 on the reputation dial, 1st to 10 on the humanity dial, and the 1st to 27 on the expertise dial, and all the other tokens are ignored for this game. Our character selection for the game will be Marie Freeman, who is the surgeon. And she has a special ability where once per lab phase, I can spend 1 less material of my choice when starting or completing a monster part. As we're playing solo, we'll start the game with 2 francs. We start the game with 0 humanity, 1 for reputation and 1 for expertise. But my ability to start the game here allows me to gain an extra expertise. I start the game with 1 scientist and 2 assistants, and I'll keep the rest of the meeples off the board until I need them. Our score tracker starts on 0. So for the investigators that are chasing me around the board, 1 starts on the Morgue, and the others start on positions 3, 6 and 9 of the story track. These here are the resources for organs, blood and bone, and all the others are off screen at the minute. Now just a few things about the game. So I need to place my meeples on the board to claim resources and body parts to build my monster, and then use these Leyden jars to try and get the body parts to come alive. During the game, these investigators are trying to stop me, and they'll move about the board, and if they come into contact with me, they'll carry out an investigate action to try and hinder my progress. I've got 12 rounds to try and get my monster to come alive, and when the Captain Meeple reaches 3, 6 and 9 on the round track, these investigator meeples will join the board. With the dials down here, the humanity is generally used for victory points and gaining reputation. The more reputation you have, more likely you are to gain a research scientist, as well as a few extra victory points. And expertise is important for building your monster. And so now we're set up, we're ready to go. Okay, so round 1. The first thing you need to do is draw an event card from the deck. Make sure you've got the right side, because this says is round 1 to 5, around 6 to 12, and this is meat surplus. And it says the overproduction of livestock results in 6 metric tons of unclaimed beef and pork. Any able-bodied person with a meat trolley are enlisted to retrieve what they can before the carcasses spoil. And this says when placing at the slaughterhouse, you gain 2 extra animal materials and a franc. Now francs are quite important for some of the really good placement areas, and you can also buy things from the market. However, if you build your monster with animal carcasses, you do get less victory points for it. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is place my research scientist on the advanced research at the academy, and it means that I gain 1 expertise, and I can choose one of these cards to take. This one lets me reduce the cost of organs to build a monster, and I also gain 2 expertise. And this one means if I don't carry out the actions on these areas here, I still pay the cost, but I gain 5 expertise. I do lose his humanity. So I think I'm going to take steady hands, and we replace the card. Now, after every meeple placement that I do, the investigator takes a turn. So what they do is roll 2 grey die, and for every damage icon they roll, they would move 1 space in a particular order on the board. However, we didn't roll any, so we are safe. Now, I would like to gain a body from the hospital, because my expertise is 3, and it now means that I can build an arm. And I need 3 muscle, 2 organs, 3 bones, which this one would give me, as well as it being in stage 1 of decay, which is pretty good. But I need a reputation of 7 to do that, and it's only 1 at the start of the game. So I think I'm going to go to the docks. I'll have to spend a franc, because I want this card here. Lose his humanity. But it does say here that I can draw 1 card from the hospital stack. So I'm going to gain this body here, which gives me 3 muscle, 2 organs, 1 blood, which I don't need yet, and 3 bones. Organs always start in these stages of decay up here, and will progressively move down at the end of each round. However, bone always remains in this area here and never decays. So I need to discard this one. The hospital stack is not refilled, but the docks is. And then we again roll for the investigator. So they move once, and they'll move to the slaughterhouse. I think I'm going to go and lecture. I gain a franc and 1 reputation. Oh. If I had another research scientist and I placed here, I'd gain this bonus instead, so I'd gain an extra reputation for lecturing. So the investigator's last turn, they gain 2. This means they move to here. They're on my space, so they have to carry out an investigate action. And because of that, I have 1 of 3 options. I can attempt to evade, I can murder them, in which case I'd gain all the organs and body parts from here, but I'd also get a police marker and lose 3 humanity. Or I can bribe them, where I place coins on here, but the more I bribe, the more expensive it becomes over the game. So I think at the beginning I'll try and evade them, so I need to roll 2 blue die and try and get one of these eye symbols. Brilliant. Got that. Means they have not succeeded in investigating me, but if they had, the Captain Meeple would have moved across to number 2 on the story track. Lab phase, and here we can build a monster, throw the switch, and preserve materials. So I think I'm going to build a monster. My expertise is at 3, which is the minimum requirement for building an arm. I need 3 muscle, 2 organs, and 3 bone, and I have those here. So I'll discard them. Place my arm. And these are double-sided. This is when you've built the skin. This is the first part, building the muscle. I gain 1 expertise for doing that. And then here, because all the organs came from stage 1, I gain 4 victory points. I can't throw the switch because I need the Leyden jars, and they also need to be charged as well. I don't have any. Now I can choose to preserve my organs. I don't have any, but if I did, I can move them to this area here, which then can be used for selling in the market later. So in the reset phase, I decompose all my resources, so blood moves down to stage 2. I then need to replenish the board. This bit does take a while, so I'll just speed this up. Now it's replenished, I move the Captain Meeple along one space. So round 2, event card. And this says, wrong side, Academy Fire. So around 1 to 4. So a fire breaks out at midnight in the library of the Academy of Science, consuming hundreds of books. An unidentified man was seen fleeing from the scene. A call goes out for aid in the library's swift reconstruction. So the Academy is off limits. And what this says here is during the city phase, each player can choose once to pay 2 francs, you gain 2 reputation, and then you read an entry from the rule book. Okay, and this here means that there's been an execution. So we have some fresh bodies at the public square. Now these generally give a lot of resources, and obviously because they've just been executed, they're all stage 1. So for my first go, I would have liked to have gone to the Academy because this one here gives me 3 expertise. So I'm going to send a research assistant up to the public square to gain one of these bodies. And I've got a couple of options here. I've got 1 of 2 cards I can take, but I can choose to gain 2 expertise or claim the organs and bones shown here. And I think I'll claim this one. So this gives me 4 muscle, 4 organs, 3 blood, and 2 bone. You can only have up to 15 items in each of these stages. So I've got 13 here. So any more, 11. There's any more stage 1 organs that takes me over 15, I have to discard. So this one can go. An investigate action. Okay, they don't move. I think I'm going to carry out this. I'm going to pay 2 francs, which is all the money I have. I gain 2 reputation, and I get to read entry C2 from the rulebook. So we'll find that here, and it says, a man shows up in your lab dressed in formal attire, but looking rather dishevelled and covered in soot. He smells of ash. I know what you're up to, he says, but you cannot continue. Your patron is an abomination, as will be the fruit of your efforts. Can I not implore you to help me destroy him? So this is Captain Walton. I've got 2 options now. I can aid Captain Walton and go to entry A32. Otherwise I can go to B32. I don't think I'm going to aid him. So B32 says, who are you? I ask angrily. And how did you get in here? Leave now, or I will call that patron and he will see you out. The captain scowls and retreats. I will not be so easily undone, nor will your crimes. Now for that, I do lose 2 humanity. I do get to draw 1 research card from the deck. Now this here is Midnight Oil. This says during my turn I can choose one of my placed meeples on the board and resolve that location effect again, including any placement costs, and that it doesn't count as a placement for my turn. So that's pretty good. Now because my humanity is now at -3, I actually lose a reputation for that. So these dials are all interconnected, meaning that the effects of one dial going up or down can affect the other dials. Now that wasn't a meeple placement, so the investigators don't get to move. So I think I'm going to get my research scientist to go to work. My expertise is 4, meaning I gain 2 francs. And the investigator will then see if they move. They move 1 space. Normally they would go from here to the lecture to donate, but because this is off limits, they skip this and go straight down to the dark alley. So I think I'm going to use Midnight Oil, which means during my turn I can choose one of my placed meeples and resolve that location effect again. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to pay a coin, or a franc. I'm not going to take the organs. I'm going to take the expertise. So I'm now at 6. That means at the end of the game I also gain an additional 5 victory points. This card gets discarded. But that doesn't count as a meeple placement either. So I can continue my turn. I think I'm going to go to the cemetery. And here you get to draw 3 cards. You can choose as many as you like. Now the thing about the cemetery cards is because you've dug up graves, they're all in stage 3 or 4 state of decay. And I can choose any of these, having to pay the costs. This one looks like it's free, and that gives me 3 organs and 3 bone. But at level 4, so that one gets discarded to the bottom of the deck. And I'm not going to pay the humanity for those, so they can get discarded as well. So Investigator's turn. Again, no damage icon, so it won't move. And that is the end of the turn. So it's the lab phase, so I'm going to build. My reputation is at 6, so at the minute I can still only build an arm. So those bones should have gone in here. So I need 3 muscle, 2 organs and 3 bone to build an arm. So that goes there. I gain 1 expertise. Again, 4 victory points. Takes me to 8. Just seeing if I can build anything else, because you can build as much as you want or can. And this is how to convert these to the skin side. So for the arms I need 3 muscle, 2 organ, 3 blood. I don't have enough muscle, so I can't do that. I do have the expertise for a leg and a torso, but not enough bone or muscle for each of them. So I might have to do that a bit later. Well, actually, I could use I haven't used my special ability, it cost me 1 less. So I could spend 1 less organ, muscle. I can then use this card to reduce the body part by 1 as well. So gain that back. So what I forgot to do there was to use my special abilities on my card. So I've done that, saved myself 2 tokens. I gained 2 expertise for doing that. This card goes back to the academy. What this does mean now is that I can actually complete my monster part. So I can spend 3 muscle, 2 organs and 3 blood. I can flip these over to give them skin, and I get 6 victory points for that. And an expertise. So because I've got a complete body part, means that I can start looking at flipping the switch, but I need to have my Leyden jars charged. I haven't got any yet, so I'll need to pop over here to buy some later. So because of that, what I'm going to do is put 2 of my organs, might as well stick them all into storage, stick them in some formalin. You can't preserve blood. So now we'll reset the board. My resources then are decomposed by 1 step. Blood gets discarded whenever it hits stage 3. Caps moves across 1. Now the investigators have doubled. Court word that I'm building a corpse. It doesn't matter. He's armless. Lol. So round 3. That's what we got here. We have dark research. A parcel arrives for you. Inside you find the copied research notes of a deceased Mr. M. Tarnowski, accompanied by a warning from your patron. Tarnowski's work may provide some illumination, says the note, but his methods paid no kindness to good taste. So each player can immediately choose to receive 1 negative humanity to gain 2 expertise. I'm not going to do that. My expertise is pretty high already. I can build almost everything apart from completing a monster head. So I'm good. So I'm not going to do that. This icon here means if I had any of these Leyden Jards, they would automatically charge because there's a thunderstorm. So city phase, I would like to increase my reputation to gain another assistant meeple. I can go back to the academy now. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is take my scientist to advanced research, gaining expertise. I think I'll take fresh as a daisy. And what this does is when I'm resolving a cadaver, I can treat the materials as stage 1. I then get 2 reputation and 2 francs. So the investigators, now there's 2 of them. What I do first is I roll the die and then choose which investigator that those roll applies to. So I've moved 1. I'll go up here. And now I have to roll for the second investigator. 1. So I'm going to go to the market, get rid of 2 bones, which gives me 1 franc, 3 organs, which gives me 2 francs. And then roll. So the investigator moves here. I've got quite a lot of cash, so I think I will bribe them. I'll stick one there. So I get 3 chances to bribe. And then I have to stick a coin on top here. So the next phases that I start to bribe will actually cost me 1 extra franc. For the one at the top, doesn't move. My meeple, I think I'll take to the cemetery. Actually, what I was meant to do here was spend 2 francs to buy a Leyden jar. I should have done that here before this meeple moved, but I didn't, so I'll just do that now. And then yeah, I'll go to the cemetery. So I can choose any of these. So for this one is 2 organs, 2 muscle and 3 bone. And these ones here are just bone, but I gain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what I'm going to do is play fresh as a daisy. I'm resolving this card so I can treat all these materials as stage 1. I gain 2 reputation for that, takes me up to 5, 2 francs, then I gain all of these. I can only have 12 bone at any one time, which I've got, and these get treated as stage 1. So investigators, so I'll have this one move 1. And so that one won't move. That's the end of the turn. I can't build a monster. I haven't got enough organs or blood. I can't flip the switch because I need that to be charged. I'll reset the board. These will decompose. The captain moves along 1. So round 4. Enemy of my enemy. I receive an anonymous letter. I know you are of good heart despite the secret task you labour at. The fiend you toil for is dangerous, yes, but nothing compared to the hell you would unleash if you succeed. Delay, stall, do whatever you must do to give me a chance. Humanity depends on it. Each player with a humanity of greater than 0 may draw 1 humanity card from the deck. Read entry C3 to the player with the highest humanity. My humanity is at -3, so I don't get to draw, but I do get to read the entry. It says, you walk into your lab to find the creature sitting on the edge of your desk twirling a pen. Notes pass in the dark it muses, though you can barely hear it. A river of words, but to where and to what end? I'm sure I don't know what you mean, you reply. My meaning, his meaning, the meaning of it all. Of course you know nothing. Where the blind leads, only a fool would follow. But who follows the fool? Later you feel the creature's presence when you're leaving the laboratory. You are certain of it, or one of its minions is following you. You endeavour to be especially careful while in the city. All spaces that give humanity are off limits this round. That's St. Roche. volunteer. Okay. So I think I'm going to research here and claim this card, which is guest lecture, which means if I complete a lecture, I gain additional benefits. Okay, so the investigators. 1, 2. One. So I will lecture, and because it's my my scientist, I can claim 1 franc, 2 reputation, which now gets me to 7. So I can claim an additional assistant. I can also gain this, which is another 2 reputation and another 2 francs. So I get to move 1, then move to the hospital. This one here. So it's going to move into this space. I'm going to risk rolling. So I get the alive symbol. I'm safe. Back to my turn, and that assistant that I claimed, I can use them right away. So I'm going to go here. I've got lots and lots of money, so I'm going to spend 4 francs to gain 2 of these jars, and another 1 . And what this does at the end of the round, it stops organs moving down the decay track, and you can turn it over to the half ice cube, and then it'll get discarded after that. So for the investigators, this one will move 1, and that one obviously nothing. Back to me for my last turn. I want some bodies, so I could go here and gain 4 organs, 4 muscle, 4 organs and 3 bone. We'll go here, draw 2 cards, and that will automatically give me half, but this one is going to move to here after. So I'll go to here, pay my franc, 4 muscle, 4 organs and 3 bone. I've got 12, so I can't claim anymore. I was meant to sell this actually here during the market phase, but I forgot. So I will have to make do with that. That's my bad. Investigator's turn. I'll use that for this one. And that one doesn't move either. So build a monster phase. So I can't turn that to skin because I have no blood. But while I've got the bone, I think I will create a torso. So I need 4 muscle, 4 organs, 5 bone. That gets me the torso. 1 expertise. They all came from, well, the lowest was stage 3 on the decay track. So I only get 4 victory points for that. I can't afford anything else. These don't decay because I have the ice cube. Okay, round 5. Long live the House of Bourbon. Community leaders organised neighbourhood loyalty drives, encouraging citizens to sign pledges to the Bourbon monarchy. Each player may immediately choose to pay 1 franc to gain 1 reputation. If they do not or cannot, they lose 1 reputation. Well, I've got no money left, so I lose 1 reputation. Now, because I have 4 meeples, that's the most that you can get during the game. But as your reputation goes up, the assistants actually turn into scientists, which give you the better benefits during the game. My reputation is now 8, which means I can send a meeple up here and take the top hospital card, which I can either take the expertise or the organs. So I take 2 muscle, 3 organs, 2 blood, and a bone. Put that there. These don't get refilled until the end of the round. So for the investigators, I think I'll choose that one to stay, and that one stays as well. So I'm going to research. I'll take tutor, which means that I can play at any time to gain the benefit. So I'm going to do that now. I forgot how many francs it was. 3 francs. So that's 2 reputation and 3 francs. Investigators. 1, 2. The other one moves 2. 1, 2. What I keep doing is forgetting to replenish these. I want to complete a body part, so I'm going up here to give blood. So I can gain 3 blood, and they go in here. Investigators that turn. So 1, then move to the dark alley. Doesn't move. My last turn, I'm going to go here and charge my jars. Investigators, I'll use that one for there. And for the one in the dark alley, that will move just the 1. Okay, so I'm now going to build a monster, or complete one, sorry. I could try and complete the torso, because that uses quite a lot. I don't have enough, even with my special ability. So if I get 3 blood, 2 organs, and I should use 2 muscle, but for my ability I can reduce the cost of that by 1, which means that I can complete my arm, gain an expertise. They all came from stage 1, so I get 6 victory points for that. I can't build anything else. I don't have enough resources, I don't think. Oh, I do. Which needs 2 muscle, 2 organs, and 3 bone. Which gets me ahead. Again, another expertise. And the lowest was stage 2, so that gets me another 5. So 129. Now I'm going to throw the switch, which means I use 2 grey die per charged jar, but because I've surpassed 14 expertise, I can actually exchange a grey die for a blue die, which I think have, yeah, they've got 2 alive, the others have got 1. So turn those over, 4 die. Okay, 2 eyes, so I lose a human, sorry, you do the injury first. So I gain a damage token, I'll place that on the arm. I receive -1 humanity, but I do get 2 alive tokens, so I'll place 1 on each of the arms. So I can choose to preserve materials if I want to, but I have the block of ice, so I don't need to. So decompose, nothing moves down because I have the ice. That gets discarded now. Board gets refreshed. Captain moves to round 6 of the story track, and they gain another meeple investigator on the Morgue. Right. So, event 1 to 6. The occasion of La Toussaint, followed quickly by Le Fort du Mort. My French is amazing. Draws more attention to the departed than you are typically accustomed to. The acquisition of raw materials will be necessary, more untoward behaviour. When placing at the cemetery or morgue, retrieving a cadaver at the hospital, or hiring a hospital thief or body snatcher at the docks, receive -1 humanity as an additional cost. What I'll do, I'll just place these here as a reminder. So my first action, I'm going to go here to gain a franc. So I'm lecturing, I gain 2 reputation, 1, 2. Now because I've surpassed the 11 reputation, I can exchange one of my meeples for a scientist. So the investigators, 1, I'll move this one. I'll put that down to show I've moved it. That'll be this one. And this one moves 1. So I'm going to go to St. Wash and Atone. I gain 1 humanity. Now because I've come to -3 here, I actually get my reputation back. I gain 1 of these 2 cards. I think I'll gain this one, which allows me to put certain areas of the board off limits, and I'll gain an extra humanity. For the solo game, you can also discard these to prevent an investigator moving that turn. And then refill. So for the investigators, I'll choose this one. That one will move 1. And this one's going to move 1, 2. So it lands on me. I think I'll bribe. Here. I'm going to go to here. I'm not sure which one of these to take. I think I'll take Cutthroat, which costs me a franc at 1 humanity. So again, I lose that reputation, but I do gain 4 muscle, 3 organs, 3 blood, and 2 bone. So that goes, another one turns up. Investigators, 1, 2, 1. So it moves to there. Then I have to try and prevent it from interrogating me. Success. Want me, Gov. So we're all good. I've got 1 more action to take. I might actually again charge these Leyden jars here. So, investigators. I'll have this one move. I'll have this one move. Oh, I'm actually using the wrong die. So I'll put that back. Sorry, start again. So none. I'll choose this one. And 2. One to public square. And this one will move 1. I could bribe. I've got 1 coin, but I think I'm going to risk it. Nope. So Captain moves along 1. I think while I've got the blood, I'm going to activate or complete the head, because that's going to cost me 3 muscle, normally 5 organs, but because of her ability I can choose 4 and 3 of the blood, which lets me, so this is now complete. Because they all came from stage 1, I get 11 victory points for that. So that takes me to 40. Oh. I think I'll throw the switch. I'm just going to do yeah, I'll turn 1 over. So that's 2 grey die. But because my expertise is quite high, I can change 1. What a roll. It's the reason why I didn't do another one. I've only got 1 body part that I can make alive. Because you can have up to 2 damage tokens on 1 body part, but only 1 alive token. So I pushed my luck quite well there. So can't do anything else. These move to stage 2. Okay, round 8. Return of Leodian. Grand opening of the Theatre de Lodian draws elite patrons for the Barber of Seville. Opportunities abound those who wish to be noticed. So I'm guessing this is based as a pun on Odeon the cinema. This card is a location for this round on which a player may place only once. If you were playing this in the main game, you can actually bump here for free. So I'll stick the Odeon there. If you land there, you get 2 reputation, which I think I'll want, because if I get any more negative humanity, I'm going to lose reputation, and one of these will become, will be degraded to a lab assistant. I'm not sure what to do for this round. I think I will go there, gain 2 reputation. Investigators. Move, and that one doesn't move. These aren't too good for me either. This one gives me bone, this one lets me draw here, but that only gives me 1 muscle, 2 organs, 1 bone. So I think I need to build some legs, so I need 4 muscle, 2 organs, 4 bone. So we'll go here, pay a franc, draw 2 of these. So that's 2, 2, 1, 2, and 5 bone in total. Both at stage 3. Well, that's a cool card. It's got no jaw. So these go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got the maximum number of bone that I'm allowed. So investigator actions. That'll be for this one. And lastly, they'll move 2 to the public square. So I think I'll go here, pay a franc, but for this one I'm going to take this humanity, 1, 2, 3, which means I gain a reputation. This gets discarded. And so 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. And lastly, this one doesn't move. So for my last action, so I'm going to carry out a murder. So I gain 4 muscle, 4 organs, 3 blood, 2 bone. I don't think I can have any bone. I've got 12, which is the limit for this area. I do gain a police token. I lose 3 humanity, so I lose that reputation, and that will now cost me 4 francs to get rid of. If I ever have 2, I can't go back to the alley again. So for the investigator's action, that'll be for this one. That will also be for this one. I'm going to play this humanity card to stop them carrying out an investigation. So it would move, but I ignore the action. Okay, so I'm going to build some stuff. I need legs. So 4, 2, 4. So I will spend 3 muscle using my ability, 2 organs, 4 bone, that gets me a leg, 1 expertise. They all came from stage 1, so I gained 5 victory points for that. I think I'm going to build another one. 1, 2. But my blood is gonna go, so I might actually see if I can complete the torso. Yeah, I'm gonna complete the leg. So I need 3 muscle, 3 organs, and 5 blood. That gets me to complete the leg. I get 4 victory points for that because it was built in from stage 3, and an expertise. Nothing else that I can build. And I've only got 4 rounds left, so I might actually throw the switch. And I get to choose 1 blue instead of a grey. 1 damage, I'll stick that here. And 1 alive. So I'm not going to do anything else. I will stick 3 organs into the preserve area. That event now disappears. Captain moves along 1, they gain another. Would normally go to the morgue, but it moves across 1, so now they have 4 meeples on the board. We are hitting around 9. I'm going to stop the video there. So that's the end of part 1. and the next video will continue at round 9. This is Ninja Geek Games. Thanks for watching.